Hi from the Book Tart. Okay, I'm going to do a random reading from one of the books here on my shelf. And I keep promising that I'm going to set my camera up somewhere else, but it's not today. I have plenty of choices here. These are some of my favorites here in my corner of the world. So, here goes. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. And something behind me. Nalini Singh. I just read Nalini Singh's newest novel, Tangle of Need, and it's her first hardback. Well, her first on her own hardback. She has an anthology in hardback. So this is Visions of Heat. It's in her side Changeling series. And this one is about Faith Nightstar. She's Psi, and she's used to cold silence. And she's an F Psi, so she can see the future. And Changeling Von D'Angelo, and he's a man and he can shapeshift into a jaguar. These are some of my favorite novels. I love Nalini Singh. I reread her books. I wonder, do you do that? Do you have some favorites that you like to pick up and reread? They're kind of my comfort reads. They are a lot of heart, amazing world building. You fall right in there with the size, the shapeshifters, and the humans, and I want to visit these characters again. So this one is book 3, and it's actually signed me. I met her briefly at a table to get an autograph. It says, "Dear Cat, dream of changelings." So yeah, and it's mine. Okay, so here goes. Okay, this is page 124 of Visions of Heat. "I can't," she shook her head to dispel the strange compulsion. "You don't understand the extent of the madness that's infected the F-Psi before the implementation of silence protocol." She'd seen the records. Records no one could have doctored. My own family records showed generations upon generations of mad ones. How many in a generation? She triggered the memory files in her mind. At least one. How many F-Psi in each generation? The Nightstar Psi clan has always produced an unusually high number of F-Stegasic Nation. Each generation has had at least one, but sometimes 2, F-Cardinals and around 10 lower gradient Foreseers. 1 in 11 or 12 sounds like pretty good odds compared to what you're facing now. Certain madness in 20 or 30 years if she was lucky, sentenced to spend the next 5 or 6 decades locked in the hell of her fragmented mind. But the ones who went mad before, they were young. What if I'm the flawed one in this generation? If I break silence, I'll fall. And if you don't break it, you'll spend the rest of your life in a cage. It's so easy for you to say, she shook her head. You grew up on the outside, feeling and experiencing everything. You can't begin to imagine what you're asking me to consider. A big hand flattened on her back, bare inches from the curve of her bottom. Look at me, Faith. She turned her body until her toes almost brushed his jeans at the thigh, her eyes on his face. He was nothing tame, and she was drawn to him. But she was different. All my life that I remember, I've lived in this compound. Even the freedom of the Psi net was almost closed to me by some very delicate conditioning. Conditioning she'd broken on her own, she realized, with a warm glow she couldn't fully explain. I'm changing that. I'm going out into the net and seeing the information it has to offer. Ooh, I might have to sit down and reread this one. So if you want more, definitely read Nalini Singh's. Start at the beginning, read her Side Changeling series, go on to read her urban fantasy series. I love Nalini Singh. Okay, make sure you check out thebooktart.com and see my blogs and vlogs and book recommendations and what I'm reading, and check out the new fiction release database, which I'm very proud of. It has over 1,000 books for June, and you can search by date, by title and author and ISBN. And as always, if I'm missing a book, please contact me. Thank you.